YouTube, what is going on? It is that NBA guy Josh. Today is July 17th. It's Friday. I don't have to work tomorrow. Alright, so on this video, we are going to be going over John Wall's comments about Reggie Jackson of the Detroit Pistons. John Wall makes 4 years, 80 million, 5 years, 80 million, something in that ballpark range. And that's the exact contract that the Detroit Pistons gave to Reggie Jackson. John Wall made a comment about it. Wow, because the increase of salaries and whatever, he locked himself into a big contract. He was smart for. You always take the security. After this contract, he'll probably go 1 year, 1 year, 1 year like LeBron does. But he has a point. John Wall is a much, much, much better player than Reggie Jackson. I mean, let's be real here. So he was basically not taking a shot at Reggie Jackson intentionally almost, but he was making a shot at the fact that, the cap's going up and it's just crazy, which it is crazy. The salary cap, I mean, the NBA revenue is not going to stop, right? It's just not going to stop. The NBA is like a massive snowball that is literally going down fresh powder on a nice winter day, and it's just 10 miles long. They're going to get huge. I mean, they're already getting huge, but I mean, dude, overseas, out of any sport in the United States, they definitely know, out of any sport in the world, they definitely are the most aggressive at making sure everyone in the world watches the NBA. International expansion. Look at the preseason. We never had games in Mexico City or London or the Philippines. We never had games like that back in the day. They do it every year now. They play regular season games there now. It's getting big, man. And the thing is, one day we might see teams in Europe. But, I'm getting off topic there. So John Wall was just, amazed by how much the salary cap was. And he said, how he didn't mention Reggie Jackson's name, but he said, damn, we got guys that aren't even all-stars making the same contract and same money that I am. Obviously, the only person in the NBA that's making $80 million over 5 years is Reggie Jackson that just signed, and he even mentioned terms of the contract in the tweet or comment or whatever he said. But can you really argue with the guy? I mean, John Wall is so much better than Reggie Jackson, it's not even funny. Now, granted, a lot of guys have come out of Oklahoma City and turned into something decent. They had James Harden was there 3 years ago, two or three seasons ago, and right after they lost to the Miami Heat, he got traded because they couldn't figure out the salary cap. They figured that they had Durant, Westbrook, and they also had Ibaka and then Harden, right? So they had all four of those guys, and they knew that they couldn't keep all of them, so Harden's the one they let go, and unfortunately, they let go of the wrong guy. Because personally, I would have let go of Russell Westbrook, but, I'm not the GM. Obviously, they think they know what they're doing. But, a lot of guys have come out of there and become good players, like him. You also got... well, actually, there's only one that I can think of that comes to mind. I mean, Kevin Martin was decent, but he didn't kind of grow up in the ecosystem of Oklahoma City or whatever, long-term ecosystem they have. But, if you really look at it, Reggie Jackson showed absolutely no, not even a hint of the talent that James Harden possessed. And he's decent now, but I mean, 5 years, $80 million for Reggie Jackson, that's a little crazy to me, because I guess Detroit figures, no one wants to come to our team. We're garbage. We're not moving in the right direction. They lost Andre Drummond, or they lost Greg Monroe in the offseason. And it's like, why would anyone want to go to the Pistons right now? They're really bad. I mean, they have no future in sight bad. So maybe they figured they couldn't get a guy. They gave him the money. Someone's got to get the money. They got to give it to somebody. You got to put butts in the seats. But especially up there. But, that's probably what they figured. Now, John Wall, obviously, he signed his contract 1 or 2 years ago, but still, it is mind-boggling that certain guys get paid this amount, and then you see other guys that get paid more or the same, or even just a little bit less, and you're just like, wow. I mean, look at all the quality players in the offseason that signed for, minimum money, right? Paul Pierce, 3 years, $9 million. So $3 million a year for Paul Pierce, right? You have guys like Iman Shumpert signing $10 million a year contracts, 4 years, $40 million for Iman Shumpert. I love Shump. Obviously, I'm a Knicks fan. So Shump was with us for a very long time, his whole career until halfway through this season, right? But there's no way that Iman Shumpert is better than Paul Pierce by 3 times the amount, right? So, you got David West taking $1 million contracts, and then you look at other guys that make like $3 or $4 million that are just bench players that they just have the back-loaded end of their contract. They sign like a 3 or $8 million contract. Tons of guys like that. So really crazy, but obviously John Wall, you're not starving for money. You got a nice Adidas contract, and I don't know how the sales of your shoes and shirt are doing, but I know that your shoes from Adidas looked cool. I don't know if I would ever play basketball in an Adidas shoe, just because I've known way too many people that have gotten hurt playing in them. I only play in Nikes or Jordans, and preferably Nikes, not Jordans, because obviously the older ones don't have the technology that the new LeBrons, KDs, all them have that I like to, the Kobe's that I like to play basketball in. But that's neither here nor there. This has been That NBA Guy. Josh, what do you think about John Wall getting paid the same amount as Reggie Jackson? It's pretty crazy, you have to admit. Drop it in the comments. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I've been making a lot more videos. I really want to get you guys input and see what you think, and kind of just do this as a hobby and hopefully make sense to people that like the NBA. That's what I'm trying to do. So let me know what you think. This has been That NBA Guy, Josh, and I'm out. Go Knicks, baby.